So I've come down from Sheffield, or up from Sheffield today, to document Bradford City of Culture. If you can like the video, follow the channel and click on notifications for future videos, I'd appreciate that. So I've come in via train today. So Bradford's the City of Culture for 2025. So a bit of investment, and what I'll do is I'll put that in the description for you to find out more about that. It's got various different bodies who give it money, and also I'll put a link to more information about the festival culture, etc. that's going off in Bradford. But I'm just coming on the train. Wasn't an impressive train station at all, to tell you the truth, but it has got a bus interchange. So what I've done is I've walked away from the light because it's a bit bright and you'll get a better view of it. So I think Bradford's population are about 450,000 people. It was very into the textile trade, but it started to dip in the 1950s, well before the steel industry in my own city of Sheffield. I think it was more greed. They say it was a competition from the rest of the world. I think more like greed that they could get it done cheaper elsewhere. So there you can see the bus station. I'll just come round to the train station. So anybody new to my channel, I've been documenting Sheffield since the lockdown. There seemed to have been an agenda going off that they used the lockdown to drive, and that's all I'm going to say, so people from Sheffield know exactly what I'm about. I certainly won't be knocking Bradford, I'll be knocking the agenda. But we're just going to come round to the entranceway for the train station. But it does seem quite a compact town centre. But there you can see the writing on the wall, Bradford 2025, and there you can see that's the entranceway to the interchange. So one part is the railway station and the other part is the bus station. So we've got the great Victoria Hotel. Now I watched a film called Hindle, and that was about the woolen industry or cotton industry. And I think it was done in the 1930s type of film or something like that. And I've just seen a building saying Hindle on it, so you can actually watch that film Hindle. It's really interesting about a cotton industry all going on holiday together, I think to Blackpool. Bit of a love story in it, so that's a great Victoria Hotel. And this is a positive sign, as you can see. They've actually got a plan, so I shouldn't get too lost today. I won't get lost on the train like Richard from Alfreton. Richard, don't know how you managed to get on at wrong station. It's supposed to be 2 stations, but I'm on a Bradford interchange station. I don't know where the other one is, but I've noticed it on another map. So we've got the Queen's pub there, but I'm not going to be going through loads of facts about Bradford. I'm sure you can research that yourself. I thought I'd just show you some of the interesting architecture in Bradford. But I think if you're from Bradford, you've got the same nonsense as we've got in Sheffield with the clean air zone. It's about 9:30, so there won't be a lot of people around at the moment, but we're outside the law courts here. We're in Sheffield with our clean air zone. Any commercial vehicle has to pay £10 a day to travel on the ring road or inside it. So if taxi drivers having to pay £3,650 a year extra to operate in Sheffield. I think you've got a very similar scenario here. We've had people from Bradford coming in to protest with us. So around the back of the Great Victoria railway station. Like I said, I wasn't right impressed with the railway station, but the hotel's nice. I came round the back just to capture this building here. But there's two reasons for my video. One is to record history, and the other one is to fight the agenda in the UK. The agenda is to actually control us. They're using a lot of digital things. I mean, I've noticed the latest one is with digital taxation. I think at the moment it's only applying to businesses with a turnover over a certain amount. But it makes me wonder who in government's got shares in these companies. Because we saw that happening throughout lockdown, didn't we? Where these people were very astute, being involved with businesses. If you go back to the 1960s when Beeching gets the blame for the cuts in the railway, but there was another guy behind it, Ernest Marples. He was Transport Minister, but he also had a transport business and road making. So he wanted to shut the railways down for a reason, and he ended up in France because I think it was something to do with tax fraud or something like that. And then I think he allowed him back into Britain. So this is St George's Hall just here. Like I say, I'm not right up on facts on Bradford. I knew it was in the wool trade. I have been here in the past when I worked for Midland Bank, because there was a branch on Bradford Market Street. So I have visited it before. Also, I used to come here for a social club, 18 plus they called it. I've been in the big cinema it was. I hope it's still here. So it's quite impressive. You can see the cycle lane nonsense. We've got that in Sheffield as well. Just trying to get a little bit out of the light just to show you this building. But it's just an informal walk around. Have a look at the architecture in Bradford and record it and say that we're all fighting against the same beast. All our towns and cities are being hammered. So I'm assuming Broadway's an indoor shopping centre. But in Sheffield we've spent, I think, £16.5 million on a Dutch roundabout. Absolute waste of money, and it's destroyed businesses around it. So it's not just the cost, it's also what it does to local businesses. Sheffield's so car unfriendly, and I'm guessing it's going to be very similar with Bradford. think I'm probably walking away from the town centre, but I just want to give you a feel for it around it as well. But it does appear like Bradford's got a few more indoor shopping centres compared with my own city. I'm not noticing many cyclists around, and I'm still aware, because a lot of them are using illegal electric bikes. Unless you pedal them to start, then they're illegal. Let's just zoom down there with my camera, save my legs a bit, so you can see the old versus the new Broadway car park. I'm going to focus on the town centre itself, but it's, I think, 15 degrees today in Bradford. It's going to be a clear sunny day. Everything's becoming very Americanised, very national or international organisations sucking up the smaller companies. So all the local names that would have once been in Bradford, like Sheffield, no longer exist. Many of them were trashed in lockdown. It seems to me as though it was all very planned. Get your ordering online, get you into digital currency. So we've got some of this in Sheffield. It's grey to greenish. I mean, I know it's been winter, but you know, each year it's going to look worse. So here we've got a blue plaque for St George's Hall. Stop the screen and read that. It's still a bit chilly, so I'm shaking. So that's the Bradford Hotel. That's looking a bit in the sunlight or shade. I can't. So to say it's 2025, the year of culture, they're still working on it all. And my own city, and I'll keep going on about it, I do my comparisons. We've got the same stuff happening. We've spent about £350 million, I think, or more on our town centre, making it worse. So that's the Bradford Hotel. You can see they're still actually doing a lot of this. Work always seems to be so slow nowadays. I think it's all the health and safety nonsense. Everybody's wearing high visors nowadays. You look at the pictures of the workmen back in just the 1980s, there wasn't all that nonsense with putting high visors on all the time. Somebody must have got a market in them. So just here you can see another sign, loads of these around. I'm guessing this is going to be because of the cultural thing. But you can see the various bodies. The government's give Bradford about 15 million. They increased it by 5 million. Bradford Metropolitan borough, I think it is, have given Bradford so much money. And there's quite a long list that you'll see in the description later. So I think this one's a town hall here. Let's have a look round. It's got some beautiful architecture on it. Very different sort of buildings to my home city of Sheffield. Different types of stone, I think. This is some beautiful building. I love the this element here on the front. Now I've got no objection to them knocking old buildings down if they build them like this again, but they don't, do they? Everything looks like a Lego land nowadays. I'll just show you some of those characters up there. So they look like crusaders to me, or knights. But then contrast it against the modern stuff just here. It's so anti-car, isn't it? So this is the other angle on the Broadway centre. And I'll come back again. So people of Bradford, what do you reckon to your town centre? And what do you reckon to how the money's been spent, etc.? Now you've got two football clubs. Now I've always been more interested in the Bradford Park Avenue than I have in Bradford City. There's a beautiful football ground at Bradford Park Avenue. Such a shame that they went out of business all that time ago. I know they're back in a more non-league status, but it's not quite the old Bradford Park Avenue. I think Yorkshire played at Bradford Park Avenue as well. I'll just show you the entranceway to Broadway. Probably won't be going in because every shopping centre looks the same, doesn't it, modern? And if you look at the names along here, you've got Virgin Money. I might as well be, I could be in Sheffield, but I'm in Bradford. When you look at the names, they're all national or international. You don't see many local brands anymore, do you? Just show you in the doorway, and you get an idea from the doorway on it. But to me, it's like any other shopping centre. Could be Meadowhall in Sheffield. It gives you an idea what it's like inside. I'm looking more for your older buildings. So is that a Dunkin' Donut now? Somebody I know from America, his son's been working, I think, in Dunkin' Donut over there, and he got sacked, I think, for not being quick enough because they didn't explain how to do the job by the sounds of it. But one thing I've noticed, it's just like Sheffield, there's clutter everywhere. I used to prefer our town centre in the 60s. Look at these metal posts everywhere, keeping us safe. The only danger to us is our own government. They play on the terrorist concerns because they want to control us. So here we've got Broadway, so like these are really good, I think. Now they're all over London, and I think that's the sort of thing we need more in Sheffield. So it's like we're walking more into a bit of the older stuff. So we've got HSBC here. Now we had a fantastic branch like this on Church Street, and now we've got an awful modernised branch that's a fraction of the size on our premier shopping street, and I say that Riley, the more in Sheffield. So Market Street's here because, like I said, I work for Midland. We got took over by HSBC. It was on Market Street, I know that. That says Bank Street there. So it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I bet, like Sheffield, this would have been Iving at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning in the past. More of this, I call it naff grey to green, because in 5 years' time it'll just get worse and worse. And I don't know if you've got a gardens department going around cultivating it all the time. But remember, this is your year 2025, a year of culture, so what they're going to be doing next year when it's not year of culture anymore. It's got the old bank, pub, certainly got some good old buildings. I don't know if you got bombed in the war like us. We got some terrific bombing in Sheffield because of the steel industry. But I'm suspecting, like Leeds, because you were textiles, etc., the Germans didn't bother with you. See if we can get a better angle on the town hall. The thing is, the more they pedestrianise towns, the more they kill them. So we've got Foster Square Station. I think that's where you got lost, isn't it, Richard, from Alfreton, at the other station. I think the thing is, though, when you've got beautiful weather like this, anywhere looks much better. So it's quite a wonderful town hall. I'm not seeing any markings, but it just obviously looks like the town hall. I'm sure Dave Ebony will be really interested in this, and I hope he's getting better. And also Miss Havisham. But it's quite a wonderful building. Try and get you some of those characters up there. built along there for choice. I'll say it's going to be a very long video, but I won't be coming back to Bradford for a long time. I'll zoom in on the neck on up there as well and show you. It's an exceptional town hall, better than my own in Sheffield. It's like something out of a fairy tale. I mean, if you look up at these sort of small rose windows, but absolutely loads of, you can see like a pillar like that, they're all over the building. I mean, this building could take an hour video on its own, but we'll carry on and just give you a flavour for it. It cost me 17 on the train today. I was a bit reluctant to come because the videos in Sheffield usually get a lot more views than if I come elsewhere. Come and surprise me today. And I'll do more videos around. It's just that people tend to prefer my Sheffield stuff. Struggling a bit with the sunlight and I can't. It's absolutely wonderful. But I'm guessing so much of old Bradford's gone. Just like every other major city. So this is Centenary Square. Sort of gonna head back for Bank Street, Market Street. I'm hoping I can find the old cinema I once went to. I didn't go to the cinema, you can see a rainbow there. Yeah, so I went to this old cinema that got a nightclub in it. It was some cinema. I think the video speaks for itself. So we've got the Alhambra up here. I think the Bradford Tourist Board ought to be paying me today. So it says ice skating on this building up here. I'll just have a quick walk across the road. So I drove all around the UK in the early 90s, working for Midland Bank. Must have visited 500 branches, and I reckon that everywhere's been destroyed since my journey around the UK. I wouldn't even like to drive in these places anymore. So we've got the Science and Media Museum here. The problem is, on a good day, sometimes you get brilliant shots and other shots aren't so good. So I don't know what ice skating is. We've still got a rink in there. But I'm going to keep to the main town centre. Just thought it was worth coming around this bit. Yeah, I was thinking what I was talking about. I was going to mention your clean air zone. I'm not even going to say what your clean air zone looks like. I don't want the censors attacking my channel. But here we've got Queen Victoria, and we have a statue of Queen Victoria. I don't like the lady at all, but it should be in our town centre, not stuck in a park somewhere. I think we should see our history, warts and all. And it's great to see a picture of her, well, a statue of her here. Ours is in one of our parks. Like a lot of the other things. Away from our town centre, it's as though they've stripped it. So I'm not going to go right up here, but I'll just show it a little bit further. But I think you get a picture. This is how probably a lot of Bradford looked. Fountains Church there. Let's get back down into the main town centre. I thought I'd show you the old Alhambra. Now, Barnsley folk, is there still an Alhambra in Barnsley, or is it just a shopping centre now? Now, when I looked on Google Maps, I actually printed a map out of Bradford, and I didn't think the town centre looked that big, but it's going to be quite a long video. It's very compact, and I'm guessing this is your clean air zone that you pay on. So I was fighting that with Matt and Susan from Bradford, because we've come together as a team. They came into Sheffield for one of our protests. We got about 350. And if you know me, I'm not a fan of socialism. I believe in a fairer society, but not at the expense of people who are contributing. And I certainly don't like Labour, Liberal or Green. I mean, have you seen any cyclists yet, folks? Now I think this bit here, I looked on Google Maps and there's a big area of university. Possibly you're becoming a bit like Sheffield, where they're catering more for students and the woke middle class than they are for the working class and the ordinary folks. Just wanted to have a quick look down there. There's not a lot up there, is there? So you've got the front of the Alhambra here anyway. You might just have finished all the work for the end of the cultural year. I mean, look, metal posts, what? Seriously, this is just, it's absolute bananas. It's in every major city, it's not just Bradford. So it says City Park here. Now, didn't they knock a lot of buildings down to create this area? Because wasn't this area actually a building site for a very long time? So I don't know Bradford well enough to have a map in my head, or, you know, like to say, oh, that's gone and that's gone, because I've not been here often enough. But you can see Old Bradford up there. It would have been mainly mostly like that type of stone, which is very different to Sheffield. I've not really seen any red brick buildings at Bradford at all. So I'm not sure what that place is. It's certainly an entertainment place. You've got the Alhambra next to it, but somebody will tell me what that's called, please. Because one of the things is I'm not a know-it-all. Put out stuff and I like to learn myself. See the town hall again coming up. Well, I'm hoping I've catch the essence of Bradford. The one thing that annoys me in Sheffield is when we talk about heritage and culture, we talk about Ramadan, but we don't talk about Lent, Shrove Tuesday and Ash Wednesday. And we seem to have allowed our own culture to be eroded. So when you talk about Bradford and culture, what are you talking about? I think it mentions something about Brontes, something like that, but British culture's been erased and replaced. So coming to some of the older buildings, but I do like it. But I'm sure if I was a Bradford person, I'd probably be horrified with what's happened to my town and my city. Not really sure what those pink things are for, or whether they're really appropriate, to tell you the truth, next to a beautiful building like that. But I'm guessing I'm missing so much in Bradford, not being a local. Now you've got the same thing as us with taxi drivers everywhere, but where's the custom come from? I found a red brick building, one of my favourites this. Didn't think you got any. So I'm trying to stick to the core element of it, give you the essence of it, and then it's up to you folks. Now this is a provincial assurance building. Now we've got an absolutely massive one of these in Manchester. It's absolutely out of this world, that one. This one's nice, but it's so much smaller. I'll just give you a quick zoom up there. But I think it's no dig at Bradford. You've been it like everywhere else, stripped out. I bet some of your big department stores have gone, haven't they? I'll have a quick walk up here, so I think it's worth a look. So I'm guessing this lights up at night, if you can see it in the video. Drum and winder there. Then got a sign on this area, Ivegate. Ah, got a picture of MPs up there, pigs at a trough. One thing is, Miss Avisham will be happy with me today. I've not got my tracksuit on or my shorts. I'm dressed up. Might just hear my shoes clinking on the floor. Vape shops, phone shops, what looks like a Turkish barber. They're just everywhere, aren't they? Can't find a quality shop in any of our city centres. So we've got another signpost there.
I don't believe I can try.
So I don't know if you're hit with homeless people and beggars in Bradford, or whether they've been cleared off for cultural. Yeah. So we're on Market Street. Now, we had Bradford area office on Market Street, so that's my sort of recollection of Bradford. And I think it's possibly, this is where our Bradford area office was. It's probably that modern building next to it. Possibly, I can't remember, it's so long ago. But these are my favourite buildings, and I think Dave Evan will love this one. I love it where you've got the red and then the white. Now, there's a theory that these were energy generating centres. That's what some people believe, and I'm not going to mock them for it, because something doesn't quite add up about our history. But I'm not going to shout from the rooftops that's what it was either. If you look along here, at the white and red, and then you look right across the top. Now, I don't know if they're lightning conductors on them. Some of them have got them, and not all of them. So like I said, I'm willing to sit on fence about these types of buildings being energy generators, but they are beautiful. And were we capable of doing that? Because what we put up now is absolute garbage. Got another phone shop, they're just everywhere. But if you're from Bradford, don't think you're on your own. Now, people ask, somebody suggested if it was a rainy day, I was a bit more professional with my videos and did a introduction and summary, etc. Well, I tend to let people make their own minds up. I do put information out there and let people, you know, we're all adults, so you can see what's happening. Now my dad, he's watched most of my videos on Sheffield, and when I took him in one day he said, I didn't know Sheffield were this bad. I said, Dad, this is what I've been showing you on the videos, because people have said I'm negative, but I think I'm a lot more upbeat than people give me credit. And sometimes being in the middle of it. But going back to an introduction, I've introduced Bradford, told you a little bit about it. And how would I summarise it? I can give you the summary now. Yeah, it looks all right as an outsider. It looks all right. So I've just had a nice chat with a couple of lads from Bradford, saying the same things as me. Awake to the agenda, that's really positive. I have to be very careful what I say to people, because not everybody's awake to it, and all you get called is conspiracy theories, and I'm just not bothered being insulted. But them lads were fully awake. So we've got the Midland Hotel here. So I don't know if this is the other station, or whether there's no station here anymore. Let's just have a quick look down here. Look at this cycle lanes, I've still not seen a cyclist. how many millions have you spent on it in Bradford versus how many potholes have you got? You can see a distinct type of architecture in Bradford, which is what I expected. I don't know if these were old mills at one bit, versus we had lots of cutlery and tool making companies in Sheffield. Just want to zoom in on them a bit for you and then just show you on the edge, but I'm guessing a lot of these were old mills or things like that. I can see the football ground over there somewhere, I think. I know there's no cyclists, but I'm still a bit careful because oh, there's one there. So we're still on Market Street over there. Another old bank building by the looks of it. But somebody's going to say I missed some important building when they watch the video. I know that, but I think I pretty much got the essence of Bradford. Just seen a couple of buildings up here I wanted to show you. So you can see Bank Street again down there. Some quite awful 60s type buildings, isn't it, up here? I'm just going to go back on myself. That's Queensgate. Just have a quick look up here and then I might come back down there.
Hello, are you a YouTuber?
And that's got some insignia above the door, hasn't it? What's the point of these metal posts? Makes you think somebody's got a contract to put them in. And we've got a couple of these ones that allow cars to actually drive in. All for your own safety, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just doing.
So there is definitely
a loading bay on the Kirkgate, yeah. And what I'll do is I'll get into the
definitely a homeless issue, isn't there? Which is the same in Sheffield. Look at that, same issue. Transient people living in areas. What's an air place that? So we've got Next and River Island down here, but if you look on the Google Maps, you can see Bradford and you can see how everything's pretty much packed into one area. Next there, but with quite a few shopping centres in the mix. New Look down there. We'll have a walk up here and I'll just show you it back down. So that's some magnificent building. Looks like a tube station down there. We're coming back down. So this must be the other train station that Richard said he got on by mistake at, which is the Midland station. So, like my summary of it, because I'm going to probably wrap up in a moment, is yeah, as an outsider it's not too bad, but looking at my home city and some of the work they've done on it, I'm horrified with what's happened to it. So that's what I'm suspecting most Bradford people will be saying, if I'm reading the room right. So there's Bradford Foster Square station, and I've come in on the other one that's got the bus and the train station. See the entranceway to the Midland Hotel. Problem is, there's nothing of quality here when it comes to shopping. Sorry folks, but Next isn't the Next to the 1980s where it was quality, fashionable and a reasonable price. Next is what Ratner said, if you remember what he said about his own products. And killed his own business because they were honest. There's a Broadway. We'll just have a walk back up here. I've already filmed some of this, so I'll skip it and catch up over the brow of the hill. So you can see this is a Kirkdale shopping centre here. Definitely 1960s, isn't it? I think you've already probably got a picture of what it's like in there. I think it's Broadmarsh Centre at Nottingham's been knocked down. So I'm guessing it's about the same sort of thing as Broadmarsh at Nottingham. More of these control things to keep you safe. But it's my government I need protecting from. It's got so much potential, like every other city in England, that's been left to rot. So Kirkgate there again. Just imagine the shop quality you would have once seen here and what the crowds would have been like on a Saturday. I mean, it must be 10:30, 11 o'clock now. So where's all your cobble streets in Bradford? I thought you'd have lots of cobble streets. I mean, you've got the modern stuff, but I'm guessing Bradford in certain areas is going to be really grim. And this is probably the best you'll get in Bradford as well. So we've got TJUs up there. Just looking what's down here. Look at this, all these taxes. How do they get the custom? So they're now paying, are you paying $3,650 a year extra for the clean air zone to operate in Bradford, like in Sheffield, on top of your taxi licence? And taxis have to have 2 MOTs a year. I think it's a positive negative, folks, isn't it? So that was a TJU's, that's gone. Yeah, I can see, I walk around my own city and people say how bad it is. And I've been coming into Sheffield since I was born in '64. But you know what, I've still got my memories. And I've still got hope that we can wrestle this off these people that are destroying our country. Shouldn't be all about money. The rich are rich enough as it is. Can imagine that had a cobble street at one bit. I think that says Waller's built in 1879. So that was an interesting conversation with the taxi drivers. They pay £40 and £240 for the MOTs a year. They pay £12 a day if they're not updated to a Euro 6 taxi. But have you noticed all the way along here, they're all invalid carrying type taxis, and they've got to have those to operate. I just can't believe it. I'm sure there's a way of dealing with the odd invalid person you have, but to make every taxi like this, somebody's got to be making money out of it. But when you look at it, all those taxi drivers, and they're not actually working, they're actually queuing up. And this is what I saw in Sheffield on Christmas Eve, loads of taxi drivers but no customers. I just don't know how these guys are operating. And when I said to one of them, well, what did it cost you to upgrade to a Euro 6? He said 18 grand. So you either pay like 3,650 quid a year penalty, or you pay 18 grand. So it's absolute extortion. So that's it really. I think I've covered the whole of Bradford town centre. It's certainly worth a trek. Have a look for yourself, because you'll see things I've not seen. But I think I've covered things the best I can as an outsider. and I'll wait for a check from Bradford Tourist Board. So if you can like my video, follow my channel and click on notifications to get new videos in the future. But please tell me what's all this about here. Over and out from Bradford, City of Culture.